this end of the year is really speeding up. Like this entire 2025, I feel, has come and it's gone just like that. But the topic I wanted to kind of talk about was environment. Do you guys feel like the environment is something that makes you who you are today? You know that saying of you are a product of your environment. You know that saying? Do you guys truly believe that in 2025 going into 2026? My thing is that with that term, I feel it's pretty outdated because I feel like to say you're a product of your environment today, right? I feel like your environment has a lot to do how you are, but I also feel in the same breath, I feel like you should be able to outperform that. You shouldn't be able to just let that confirm who you're going to be, if that makes sense. So when someone says, oh yeah, I'm a product of my environment, yeah, your environment had a lot to do with how you speak, how you answer certain questions, how you go about life. But I feel in the same breath, you shouldn't let it determine who you are trying to be in this life. Because, you know, there's people out here in these streets that will sit up there and tell you, oh yeah, I'm a product of my environment. You know, this is just how I am. And with that, the destructive thing about that is there's no accountability with that. So when you're just saying, oh yeah, I'm a product of my environment, does that mean you're not going to make changes with how you act in the present time? Does it mean you're just going to go in different rooms of life and say to people, I'm just a product of my environment. I can't help it. Fuck the world. Fuck everybody. You know what I mean? Like some along those lines. Does it mean that you don't take any accountability? Because I was just thinking of someone, and this person just goes about life, at least with their interaction with me. They go about life just with that whole I'm a product of my environment kind of mind frame. And it's like, how do you expect to grow, right? How do you expect to grow in life? How do you expect to make changes in your life if that's the way you're thinking? I'm a product of my environment. That means I don't care about anything else that's going on because I'm just going to use that excuse and say, oh yeah, nobody can change me. I'm a product of my environment. Just because you are raised a certain way, just because your environment has influence how you speak to people, how you carry yourself in different rooms, doesn't mean you shouldn't make changes to your present life. That's what this means. It means you should be willing to look at your life in the present time and say, you know what, I got to make some changes. I can't keep blaming things on the whole term, I'm a product of my environment. Because guess what's going to happen? If you continuously have this mind frame of I'm a product of my environment, and you continuously go down the roads of life, right, with this mind frame, guess what's going to happen? People are going to start blotting you out. They're just going to ignore you because they're going to look at you and say, you know what? He's not going to change. She's not going to change. They just see life as what my environment was. They're not willing to change themselves. So, for example, I grew up without a father. I grew up without a father. I was raised by a wonderful black single mother. And if I were to have that frame of mind, right, where I'm like, I'm a product of my environment. Fuck the world. Fuck everybody. I was raised by by a single mother. Fuck everybody. If I had that frame of mind in 2025 going forward, how would I be making myself better if I'm just sitting here blaming everybody else for how I was raised? Just because I was raised by a single mother doesn't mean I can't make changes. Doesn't mean I can't be a better father for my children. You see what I'm going? We can no longer sit and blame our environments. We got to make changes, as hard as it is. Will there be roadblocks? I'm not saying there won't be roadblocks, because there certainly will. But what I'm saying is, with roadblocks, we got to figure out, how can we make changes, even if it's small changes? How can we make changes to make things better in our lives? What's going on, Pender Show? How you doing? Just sitting here talking about the term that people use a lot these days. I'm a product of my environment. And I was just speaking on just how people can like become so stagnant when they use this term. What's going on, people? How y'all doing? And it's just crazy, like how people, Happy New Year, by the way. It's just crazy how people will use that excuse to say, oh yeah, I don't have to change anything because I'm a product of my environment. And in my mind, that holds you back from getting better in your present time. When you're constantly focused on the term, I'm a product of my environment, there is no room for growth. There's no room for you to get better when all you see is your past. You see a situation, whether you grew up poor, whether you grew up in a single family home, don't matter what it is. No matter what it is. That doesn't mean you can't change your current situation right now. Don't wait for 2026. Here's another trap that people are going to go through, and they have been going through. A lot of people are waiting for the clock to hit 12 for them to say, you know what? I'm going to make some changes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some changes. That doesn't work like that. Just because the clock hits 12 doesn't mean things are going to change immediately for you. You got to start it right now. Right now. Just because the clock hits 12 doesn't mean things are going to automatically change. It's good to be hopeful. Don't get me wrong. It's great to be hopeful. But what happens with the whole new year, new me status that they say is a lot of people will use this and then they get frustrated when they realize they got to be consistent. They got to be disciplined. They got to show all of these things to understand how they're going to make change. Hit the like button, guys, if you're in here. I appreciate you guys watching. But again, we got to figure out how we're going to make changes in our lives. What are we going to do? What are we going to do to make changes? And I realized that from back in the day, because I'm not going to lie. I used to be one of those new year, new me people. And you know the places where you see new year, new year people. Where do you usually see them at? The gym. That's a number one place you're going to see a lot of new year, new me people. A lot of people are going to show up in the gym. They're going to show up with their new gym outfit. They're going to show up with their water bottle. And they're going to work the hell out. That's what they're going to do. But guess what? Guess what's also going to happen? Come January, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Come January, maybe 10th. Maybe I'm being a little too giving. Maybe January 10th. Are you going to see those same people in the gym around that time? What do you guys think? See, a lot of people, like I said, with this whole new year, new me thing, a lot of people will tell you all the things that they're hopeful for, which is good. But a lot of these same people are only being hopeful because the clock hit 12. The clock hit 12, so now they're thinking things are going to miraculously happen. I'm here to just remind you guys, a new year is coming. Be thankful for your blessings, but also understand you can't wait for the new year to start on your goals. You can't wait for a new year to say things are going to change. Be hopeful, don't get me wrong, but don't expect that just because the clock hit 12, that things are going to automatically change for you. Things are going to automatically get better. Because if you look at the state of the world and you see where the world is already at, I'm not going to say headed, already at. People are losing their jobs left and right. People are going through sicknesses. They're going through depression. They're going through all of these things. And it seems no one even cares to lend a helping hand. You got to start by looking yourself in the mirror and seeing where to begin. So this is just a little small live I wanted to jump on here. I hope you guys have a wonderful start of the new year. Take care of yourselves, and remember, mental health, priority. Message.